ladies and gentlemen, my real estate investors, real estate marketers from whichever field you are, so far you are in the industry of real estate, you are always welcome on this program. So welcome to the Real Estate Talk Show, and I am your humble host, JULIETH. And today, just like we've been covering a couple of insights in terms of real estate business. And our last episode, we dived into about income generating properties and how inflation real estate serve as an edge against inflation in property investment. So this time around, we are going to dive even more deeper as I have a guest here with me, someone that has really done superbly well for herself. When you're talking about the ladies that are making the sales, the superstar ladies that are making the sales, you talk about her. So it's my humble gesture to welcome her on this show. Her name is JULIETH EGBE, and she's a sales superstar. With she has sold more properties than you may think, and is actually successful in this business. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome her again on this program, Miss JULIETH EGBE.
Thank you very much, Inka. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Pleasure's mine. I'm glad to have you here, ma. It's not easy to have, someone that is of, you think that they are of a high standard. Not it's just what it is. You have crossed that level of being of a high standard in the business and in the industry.
Wow, thank you so much.
So I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
So today, I would like us to talk about the title of the show is cracking the sales code in real estate. So cracking the sales code, I would like to know, as a superstar in the sales industry, what are the what really trigger you into moving into the sales industry in real estate, and how did you come up, and how was the experience like?
Okay, thank you so much again.
Yeah.
So, I am one of those people that didn't want to do real estate. I didn't want to sell real estate because I was done with marketing and selling and all of those things. And so how I came about it is that it was no job now. There was no job, and I had gone for interview in an airline business. I was supposed to start to be a cabin crew member, all of those things. But God always had the best plan for us. So, and then all of a sudden I started getting job offers in real estate firm to come and be a sales, to be a marketer and this. Sales, to join their sales team and all of those things. And God being good, I joined one of the best real estate firm at the time, who gave me the trainings and kind of put my foot forward in the business. So I guess that was just it, because it wasn't something I really wanted to do, but I went there. The person I met tried to encourage me, let me know that I can do it, because the thing about real estate is that when people hear it is this scary that it's not what everybody can do. It's not what you can sell, right? But I had the opportunity of meeting someone who had done well, and she was still maybe just within my range, or maybe a year older than me, but she had done so well for herself. And then she convinced me into joining her team, because I guess she was seeing what I didn't see in myself, because I didn't think I would be able to do it. But like I said, it was just being no job. First of all, that was what disappointment got me into real estate. Secondly, and how I'm able to be here today is because I joined one of the best real estate firm at the time, and they gave me the training that I needed to be the best sales person that I can be. And I would say that that's what has helped me be here today, to still be in real estate after almost 5 years.
Wow, that's inspirational because you understand that after school, we tend to go into the other.
No, actually, I was working. I'd worked in the bank for 2 years, and then I relocated, and I was looking for something. And being someone who has been in the bank, I didn't want to do anything that has to do with marketing again, or joining the sales. So for me, it wasn't that I was a young graduate or something. I wish I was I even got the real estate job when I was even very much younger, and or when I was just starting up my career. It's just a very beautiful career to be in, to be honest. It's good for me. That's it.
Yeah, that's great. It's beautiful. Also, in every beauty, there's always some sort of experiences things that have made that to the beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, well, what's something about the real life of a top performing real estate salesperson most people don't realize?
What's
Like, what's something about the life of a top performing real estate salesperson most people don't realize?
Is that okay? So one of the things that they also go through sales drought. People don't know that every real estate agent, when there's always sales drought at the beginning, and the only difference is that they have stayed consistent. Because I remember there are people that we started the business together, the real estate business journey together, and at some point they quit, they stopped. So one of the things that people don't know is that even the people you are hearing their names now had once gone through those sales droughts, those challenges of not selling for a period of time, where it looks like you begin to question yourself: did I make the right choice? Am I supposed to be here actually? So it is what they all go through it. Every one of us go through those sales droughts. But the only difference is that those that are still here and those that you hear their names are the people who had stayed consistent in the real estate, regardless of how hard it hit. They had stayed consistent and putting in their best.
Yeah. So consistency and putting your best is the key.
Yep.
Yeah. That's great. Selling under inflationary pressure. The last few years have been marked by economic shifts and inflation. From your perspective, how has inflation influenced real estate sales, particularly buyer behavior?
So the thing is that it has actually really, really affected it, being that some of my own clients they are all abroad, and with the whole inflation and all of those things, they tend to want to do calculations. Or if I invest this money, let's say for instance I bought dollar for 1,000 and then I buy this property for 50 million and then I buy it. When I'm selling that property, if I sell that and change it to dollar and then I'm changing it to maybe 2,000, that means the money has actually dropped. So it has actually affected buyers' behavior in both positive and negative ways. But for me, I always tell clients, and some of my clients who have seen business with me too, believe that it has affected them positively, because if you are earning in dollars, it's easier for you to buy property in naira, because the value is higher when you change
the currency. Is
higher. So that's it. Some people tend to look at the more negative part of it, but regardless of how you do the calculation, you can never compare it. You buy a land, or you buy a land, for instance, it will definitely appreciate. So you change dollar for maybe 1,000 naira, and then let's say for instance, and all of a sudden inflation happens and it becomes 1,005. The land you're still going to resell, inflation is also going to help you to appreciate higher, so you still make your money. So I think to some extent it has affected it positively and also negatively.
Yeah, that's great. So about next direction, did you have to adjust your sales strategy to reflect rising prices or tighter buyer budgets? If so, how?
Okay, so first of all, I don't think I have strategy. The only strategy I have is God. That is my strategy. I don't know what strategy I need to adjust or something, but my own strategy, first of all, I'm a Christian, and whatever religion you are in, for me, my own strategy is just God. I have never had to adjust my strategy because this strategy has been working for me. So I really, maybe I didn't get the question well, but my strategy first of all is God. And if there's adjustment of strategy to have to match the price,
rising prices, tighter
so
buyer
first of all, I'm a salesperson, I'm not a developer. So I'm not the one that owns the property. So I can't adjust the price or do anything. The adjustment of the price has to come from the developer, who is the actual owner of the property or the investment.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They talk about negotiations, that there are sometimes the client wants to buy, they have to negotiate the prices, to know how to cut through and maybe sell it more cheaper for them.
Well, negotiation that's another area of real estate entirely. However, what I can say about negotiation is that it's a two-way thing. It's a two-way thing. If we are negotiating a price of property, for instance, 5 million naira, and I know that if I sell this property as the developer, for instance, 5 million is I'm not going to make my money. So why would I need to adjust it? But if I know that if I sell it for 5 million, I can still make something, just take your gain and then you go. And then as a buyer, you are negotiating for a certain amount. And sometimes buyers even tend to, they usually have the money, I don't know how to put it, but if I just feel like negotiation is a two-way thing. If it works for me, I do it. If it doesn't work for me, I don't. If I'm going to sell property for 5 million naira and it's going to pay me, because the essence of doing everything is to gain. And if I'm going to buy this property for 5 million and it's not going to pay me, so it's just a two-way thing. I think that there's always this flexibility, right, when it comes to the negotiating aspects. Yeah. The buyer has to be flexible, the seller has to be flexible. So I think that's it.
Okay. So what's your advice to agents navigating conversations about affordability or economic uncertainty with prospective buyers?
First of all, you don't have a problem with whatever the price is. There are people who are going to, there is money and there is products. Every product there is a buyer for it. You cannot limit your mind to what doesn't concern you. First of all, for me, the way I sell, okay, you asked for my strategy. My first strategy is to sell to myself first. If I can sell to myself, then I can sell to the buyer. If I can buy this property, I can buy it myself. So don't look at the price, just look at the value of that property. Look at the value. Look at, does it match the price before you take it to your client? So if I can buy this property, that means I can sell it. And then once I know that I can buy this property, the confidence in selling it is, the client sees it that I'm really excited about this property because I know that the value of it matches the pricing of it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So how does income generating properties, how income generating properties are a great hedge against inflation for investors? How do you position this value to your clients during a sales pitch? Did you get it?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Let's say we've been talking about income generating properties, how they are great hedge against inflation for investors. Now, how do you position this value as income generating properties being a great hedge against inflation? How do you position the value to your clients during a sales pitch?
Well, like I said, everything has to do with, first of all, with your mind. First of all, if I can buy it, and I can buy it doesn't mean I have to physically buy it. I have to sell it to myself. I can buy it first. It's easier to talk to my client about it. It's easier to actually tell the client the value. It's just for you to know the location of the property. Does it match the pricing of it? Is this thing going to give my client what he's looking for? First of all, most times some realtors or agents are more busy looking for, concerned about their own money. You're not concerned about what the client wants. First of all, if I know the needs of my client, I'll be able to let him know if this property will serve his needs or if it will serve what he wants to use the property for. If, as for instance, you want to do an income unit, there's a certain location for it. There are locations that are more thriving than the others. It's not everywhere that you buy an income. When you say income, I mean, is it a passive income generating properties that you earn money from maybe every month, every year, and all of those things? So there are locations for it. When you are looking for a property to buy for land banking, it's different from an income generating property. So you have to look for areas that are already thriving, that will give these clients that value when he buys it. That is not just buy a house somewhere and you don't make your money. Yes. First of all, like I said, get the value, make sure that the value matches the pricing of the property, and make sure that you know the needs of your client to be able to let them know, okay, this one will serve what you want to use it for.
Yeah, that's great. Knowing the needs of your client is one thing, because it's all about conversation. And when you are pitching to your clients, some people are hard nuts to crack. So how do you get into their minds and get to understand what they? Okay,
first of all, there are sales strategies or the best strategies. First thing first is to build rapport with the person. Some clients are difficult, and you have to give them time. You have to. Don't be desperate to sell to them. Don't be too desperate. You have to try and build rapport. Look for what they like, how they, basically just build proper rapport with them. That way, it's easier for you to give them, to even know what they want, to be able to get them what they need, right? So the best thing first is to build rapport, which is one of the processes of sales, is to build rapport with that person. So, and also while you are building the rapport, don't be desperate about it. I'm never.
Just be natural.
Never. Just be natural. Let it flow. Build a healthy rapport, not the rapport that you are beginning to sell yourself short. Or you're beginning to look desperate, or somebody is now using you to, they won't respect you. Make sure you are building a natural rapport in a way that you don't lose yourself and you don't also disrespect the clients. Right. So for me, that's the way I do that.
Yeah. So about psychology of buyers, what cues do you look for to know a buyer is ready to close a deal versus when they need persuasion?
Okay, so the thing is that if somebody doesn't want to need something, you can't force them. It's either they don't need it or they don't have money for it. So you have to look at these two things. Do they have the money to buy what I'm selling? I can't go now. I can't just see anybody on the road and begin to advertise 100 million naira house.
Yeah.
Now, if they have the money, do they need what I'm selling to them? Then if they have the money and they need it, then that's where persuasion comes in.
Yeah. So, okay, that's great. How do you handle objection, especially when it comes to pricing or concerns about the property not producing enough income?
Okay, so well, objection, to be honest, the usual way that we know is to give them the value of that thing. Somehow, if you give a client the value, if you are able to explain the value of what you are offering, there's hardly or no objection in terms of pricing. Because if, for instance, I want to buy this phone, for instance, and you tell me the price and I'm objecting on the price, and then you begin to give me all the value that this phone has to offer to me, there won't be much of objection. I think where objection in pricing comes in is because you've not been able to outline the value of that property. And secondly, maybe that the client doesn't really need that thing that you are selling to them. So that's the thing when it comes to pricing objection.
A client that is serious and
the one that is not serious. Maybe they don't have the money for it. And then you begin to talk and go back and forth, all of those things.
So you're just wasting that time. Okay. In terms of lead generation, are there any method or tools you swear by to consistently attract high quality clients?
Okay, so first of all, most of my clients are from referrals. First thing first is to see my next client is dependent on how I serve my present clients. So when I serve this client very well, he will give me a referral, and this person is good. That being said, referral is one of the ways that I generate. In fact, whenever it comes from referral, it's no longer leads. That's a prospective client. In fact, almost all the time they end up being a client. But how you can get leads, you can do from running ads. I do run ads on Instagram. I do run ads on Facebook and all of those things. I get leads from there and all of those things.
Okay, that's great. So building long-lasting relationship with buyers, after closing the deal, is another thing is having a relationship with this buyer so that you can also gain referrals and gain their trust and more income and more deals on the way. So how do you deal with maintaining their relationships?
Of course, once you buy from me, you're already like family to me, right? And I try as much as possible to maintain that relationship. First of all, I give you a good product. I give you what you need, and then the client begins to preach your gospel everywhere. Oh, this person, this realtor is trusted, is honest, is So for me, the sale doesn't end when I've closed. The sale ends when the client brings me a referral, and I know I've done something well for him to bring me a referral. So it doesn't end, when the client buys, okay, that's over. You still do extra work, like, if for instance they buy an off-land property, I used to drive all the way to EGBE to go and check my client's property, make sure, is this going on? I'll send a video to them, okay, I'm still checking on this, your property, and all of those. If it's their location, make sure they've gotten their location, they've gotten all their documentation and all of those things. It does not end when they have made payments. Make sure that the client is satisfied. That's what I do. I make sure that these clients are so satisfied that they will have, every time they hear my name, or even when anybody asks them, I'm looking for property, so they'll be like, I know someone that will help, that is good, and she has helped me get so and so thing. So that's it. It doesn't end when the client have paid. Make sure that even documents, make sure, sometimes some company may have delays, so you go there by yourself. Make sure that they are knowing that I'm doing this thing for you, I'm sorting this issue for you and all of those things. And then sometimes you also send them gifts and all of those. Maybe they are doing birthdays or their Christmas time, or maybe Muslim, for people, some of my clients that are Muslims, I send them gifts during Salah celebration and all of those things, or send them message, or even a check-up message, how are you doing and all of those things. So that's where you keep building relationships, and the person knows that you are for me, you're not just here to pick my money.
So it's making sales in real estate is not just about making, it's not something about making just to make sales and go. Something that you have to be a part of that person's life basically.
I've traveled from here to Owerri for my client's mother's burial.
Wow.
And I didn't tell the client that I was coming, and I got it. He was ecstatic. He was very excited, and I know how many business that has brought for me.
Yeah, that's one of the sacrifices. Committed sacrifices.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. So, quick and actionable tips. I'd like to know, just pick one. Favorite sales tool or app?
Well, I'm not really. It has to be Instagram for me.
Instagram.
It has to be Instagram. But however, you have to also check where you have. Some people have audience in Facebook. For me, it has to be Instagram.
Okay, yours Instagram. Favorite sales, most underrated features buyers look for. Most underrated feature buyers look for.
Good titled lands or properties. Good titled properties.
Okay.
Yeah.
One sales myth you want to debunk.
That sales is for people that can talk. It's not true. Anybody can be a salesperson. Anybody can sell real estate.
Yeah.
So it's not about the talking. It's about what you know. It's also about your mindset.
Yeah.
If you think you can do it, then you can do it. And when you get into real estate, it's not about going to talk. You have to gain knowledge. You have to study the product you are selling. Then that's just it.
Okay.
It's not for people that can talk. It's for everyone who decides to be a salesperson.
That's great. So your go-to closing phrase. Your go-to closing phrase.
I don't really have. Are you ready to go?
Your go-to closing phrase.
Like when I want to close with you.
Yeah.
Is there any phrase? I don't have a particular phrase.
Okay.
I don't have a particular phrase.
Anything that comes.
As it flows, as in when a client is ready, we don't even need to. When are you ready to make payments? So and the person tells you, oh, I'm making payments to so and so time. That's it. But I really don't have the closing phrase. If I stand here and tell you I have a closing phrase, I don't have one. I go with the flow.
Okay. So what motivates you in a tough market?
That I have God.
Oh.
That's my biggest motivation.
Yeah.
That I have God. Regardless of how hard it gets, I'm going to excel regardless. That's it for me. God is my motivation.
Yeah.
And also, I also look at the end goal.
Yeah.
Just as someone who really gets motivation, because I know that He is for me. Regardless of how the market gets tough, I'm going to excel. I'm going to try regardless. So,
yeah.
And also, I also look at the end goal. It doesn't last forever. Tough time doesn't last. It's tough people that last.
Yes. I think the tough time makes one tough too.
So, and it will pass.
Yeah. Okay, for real estate agents listening, what's your one mindset shift they need to become better at selling, especially in a tough economy?
That I can do it. I can do all things through Christ. And I'm going to give you a scripture, Mark 9:23. It says, Jesus said, anything is possible for anyone that believes. If you believe that you can sell, you can sell. But if you don't believe you cannot. The mindset that you need to get first of all is that I can do it. If this person can get to this point, I too can get to that point. And then you have to stick to it. It may be tough, but I'm definitely very certain that if you are consistent enough, you begin to reap the benefits. That's it.
Yes. For investors, what should they look for when working with a real estate agent? What differentiates a sales superstar from the rest?
So first thing first that you look at is the interest that the realtor has in meeting your needs than just persuading you to buy. If your realtor cannot be for you to get your needs, regardless of how much they will make, that realtor is not it. You need a realtor who can meet your need first than just telling you to buy without reason and without even listening to. If your realtor is not listening to what you need, I don't know what you're doing with that realtor. So you get a professional that knows the business, that knows what they are doing, and is also very honest and selfless. So that's what you should look out for. Consistent realtor, honest realtor, and
Okay, that's great. What's next for you in your career? Any exciting goals or projects on the horizon?
There's a lot, always exciting things going on, but then, it's not everything is real anyway. But then there's a lot to be expecting from me.
Yeah, a lot will come too. Yeah, so thank you for sharing your experiences and journey with us here. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Just a great honor to have you here. And I believe that you viewers, if you have stayed this far, I believe that you must have been impacted and inspired hearing this from a lady, that you can actually do this. If a lady can do it, you can do it. We can do it. I can do it. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much.
Juliet,
Thank you for having me.
Creating your presence here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And any last thing you have to say for the audience?
Nothing, just believe God. And if you have not given your life to Christ, please give your life to Christ.
That's it. Give your life to Christ. Thank you. Bye.